this video, we're going to talk about the cost of living in Canggu, Bali. In case you guys are new to this channel, I am Isabel and welcome. I've been a travel blogger at Bell Around the World for the past 8 years, and I've been traveling full-time for the past 5. Now, I do what you call slow travel as a digital nomad, which means that I travel full-time and have multiple bases each time as I travel. Right now, I'm in Bali, and I've been living here for about a month now in Canggu, and so this video is here to debunk what it's like to live here in Canggu, what are the prices like, and so we will break down category by category. So in case you are planning your first trip to Bali as a digital nomad, or if you are planning to stay here for a little while, this will form a good guideline for your next trip here. Okay, wait, so a disclaimer, I will be sharing both the Indonesian rupiah and the US dollar prices. I will also indicate somewhere in this screen the conversion rate so that you're less confused about it. But I'll try and share both the Indonesian rupiah and the USD prices. Okay. So first up is accommodation. I tend to look at prices for monthly rental because I know that I'll be staying here for at least a month. And so the best way to look at monthly accommodation availability is either via Facebook groups, Facebook Marketplace, WhatsApp groups, word of mouth, or simply Google searching. So what I do is I go into Google Maps and I search either guest house or hotels or hostels if that's what you want, or resorts or villas, and I hit search, and then a slew of different options come up on the map depending on where you want to stay. And then from there I go onto individual listing pages, and usually if they are written correctly with information, there is usually a WhatsApp number. Well, there is a phone number, and so I'll try and search them on WhatsApp, and if they are on WhatsApp, I'll try and shoot them a message quickly to ask for availability of monthly rentals. The other way you can do, which is a bit more longer process, is of course to reach out via email, or you can also go through an agency to get you an accommodation here, depending on what your preferences are. So I got this little cute guest house for 5 million, which is around 330 US dollars. So if you're looking for daily accommodation, it can range from, let's say if you're in a hostel, it can range from 10 USD upwards to anywhere 70 USD to a couple $100s a night, depending on how luxurious you want to be in, whether you want a private villa or whether you're okay with a shared space and whether you need kitchen facilities. When you're living in Bali or Canggu specifically, you need to get around, right? The easiest way, well, I've tried walking, trust me, and it's more dangerous than riding a scooter. I would choose walking any other day because I like to get some fitness exercise in, but it really is quite dangerous because there isn't designated walking paths, and sometimes the traffic or the roads are just so narrow that it's really good enough for a car to drive through. After a couple of weeks of living here, I was like, okay, no way, I can't risk my life anymore, so I decided to rent a scooter. So scooter prices can range from anywhere from the most entry-level type of scooters, which are Scoopies, 110cc, to all the way up to 150cc's NMAX models. So what I got is 900,000 rupiahs for a month, which translates to around $60 a month. If you are thinking of renting an NMAX, it could be priced up to around 1.5 million a month, which translates to around 130 US a month. If riding a scooter is not something you're comfortable with, which is entirely fine, there are not very strict rules around having a license to ride a scooter. So basically, if you're good with your balance and you can, hit the throttle, you can basically ride a scooter, but really it depends on your level of comfort as well. There are other options out there besides riding a scooter, and that is by riding or hiring Gojeks, which is the equivalent of Ubers or Grabs around here. I highly recommend to ride a Gojek scooter instead of a Gojek car, because cars are, yes, more comfortable, but the traffic in a car is always a standstill. It is so annoying. So the easiest way is really to just hop on a scooter, Gojek scooter. And so if you are getting around Canggu, it is insanely cheap. It amounts to around 1 or 2 USD depending on how far you go, but it really doesn't set you up more than $3 for each trip. Of course, if you were to go further, let's say from Canggu to Ubud, it is around 50,000 rupiahs, which doesn't set you up by more than $5. The distance to Canggu is around 30 kilometers and it takes roughly around an hour. It costs around $5 tops. The only caveat is I was happily Gojekking around, but when it comes to rain, there are literally no drivers around. I've had to wait 45 minutes, an hour to finally have a Gojek driver. The other thing is, if you are riding a scooter or if you know that you are traveling during rainy season, make sure you have a rain jacket with you at all times, because you never know when you would be riding in the rain. On to our favorite topic, food. There are a variety of food options out there depending on what you like to go for. So let's start from the most affordable way of eating, which is eating at local eateries, or what we call warungs here. You can get food for as low as 40,000 or even 20,000 rupiahs, which sets you up not more than $2. If you were to go to cafes, for example, a smoothie bowl would cost around 70,000 rupiahs, which is around $5. Juices are around 55,000 or so. And then if, let's say, you want to have a nice night out with your day in a nice restaurant, nice cozy restaurant, prices for mains, it will go from 150,000 onwards. So you can expect to pay around 10 USD and upwards for a main meal. Of course, if you add on a cocktail, that's around like 150,000, and that's around US $5. Coffees, beers, bindangs, things like that. If you get a coconut at the beach, for example, it costs you around 20,000. Coffees are around 30 to 40,000 rupiahs, which is around $2. Not too bad. You can have a coffee any time of the day. Now, if you are as active as me, you'll want to enroll in some sort of gym or yoga membership. Now, speaking of yoga, you can always do a drop-in price or also sign up for a package price. I would say it doesn't cost more than $10 per class. Of course, the bigger the package that you sign up for, the cheaper it becomes. Some of the yoga places I recommend are Radiantly Alive. I do my inversion yoga at Nirvana. Serenity also provides a wide range of yoga classes starting from 7:30 all the way till the evening. Yes, and Samadhi is also really well known for their yoga classes. Shifting gears to surfing. If you're interested to surf in Canggu by the beach, a boat rental for 2 hours would cost 50,000 rupiahs, which is $3. I've never seen cheaper boat rental prices anywhere else. If you want to hire an instructor, it costs around 350,000 rupiahs, which is around $23 for a 2-hour surf session, one-on-one private surf session with an instructor. Now, if you are going to be staying here in Canggu for a bit and want to look for a co-working space as opposed to just working from the cafes or working from your own accommodation, there are a variety of co-working spaces around available. I've tried Outpost and B Work. I know there are a few others like Kinship, Genesis, and a couple others, which I haven't tried, but prices for co-working ranges from around 100 to 200 US dollars. Again, it depends on what kind of package you go for, whether it's a day pass, whether you are renting a dedicated desk space, and whether you are paying unlimited hours across different locations or paying by the hour. At Outpost, for unlimited desk usage across all 3 locations, it costs $165 a month. At B Work, for unlimited hours at the Canggu, well, they only have 1 branch as we speak in Canggu, right in the center of Canggu, it costs around $230 a month for unlimited usage. Last but not least, Petrol. So as I was saying, if you rented a scooter, you would have to deal with petrol on your own, right? So petrol costs are dirt cheap. It costs around $1 per liter. The cheapest petrol you can get is by going to the main roads at a petrol station. Although there are a lot of street vendors that would kind of just fill up for you via a bottle or via their portable machine. That will cost you a bit more. But for me, as I use a Scoopy, it takes around 36,000 rupiahs to fill up a full tank. That does not cost more than $2, and that would last me around a week or less, depending on how frequent I travel. But I kind of go back and forth to my co-working space currently at B Work a lot, every single day, and then around for lunches and dinners. So now, if we break it all down together and do the math, I can't do this mentally, so I'm gonna have to look at my laptop. But let's say we break down the individual category. Accommodation is around 5 million. Scooter rental is around 1 million. Petrol sets you up to around 150,000 rupiahs. Co-working space, 2.5 million. Gym, 1.3 million. Yoga, 1.5 million. Food, assuming we are spending 100,000 per meal, and that's 2 meals. Of course, this really is very subjective, but I'm just making a round figure. That sets you up to about 6 million, assuming you're eating out every day for 30 days. I forgot to add that there is also laundry. So for 19,000 per kg, I can do laundry for under $6. All this in total was around 80,000 rupiahs. That would come out to a grand total of around 18 million rupiahs, which when we convert it doesn't cost you more than $1,200 USD. And there you have it. This is the rough cost of living in Canggu. Again, this depends very much on how you are spending, what you are spending on. Are you spending your nights out every single day? Are you wanting to stay in a more comfortable accommodation? For example, are you going to register for a co-working space and sign up for gym memberships? But this is a rough cost of what it is like living in Canggu. So there you have it. This is the typical cost of living in Canggu, Bali. Obviously, it varies from person to person and from your level of comfort, but this is just typical cost of how much are you spending living here in Canggu. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Would you consider living here in Bali? Was this number something that you expected? And what else you want to hear more about in Bali? See you in the next video.